CBD. But you know all about that, right? Sure, I'm not new to this. I know my way around a reefer, sir. I've had a cigarette of jazz cabbage. No high, benefits the body, balances the humors. Fine, but it's getting to the point where people want CBD in absolutely everything. The CBD must flow. Gimme it. Gimme all of it. Everyone's rushing to put it in food, beverages, creams, and salves, and people cannot get enough. There seems to be a bit of a race to get CBD in every single human crevice. Legitimately. It is excessive, but that's because CBD does work. But imagine, if you will, if all the ways I mentioned to use CBD were not the most effective. Would you call me a liar? Well, as long as you don't call me late for dinner. CBD, let's reveal the best way to use it, and can it be proven using the principles of human metabolism. So instead of CBD getting into us, let's get into it. Hello everyone, Dr. Ife Abiola here, and today we're going to discuss CBD, a very familiar cannabinoid, and this is today's rundown. Just for some background, we get CBD from cannabidiolic acid that is decarboxylated and turns into CBD. It loses a chunk of its molecule, it loses its status as a precursor acid, and it gets into things like face masks, sports drink, internet. Simple enough. But how does CBD actually work? Well, let's go back to our receptors. CBD activates our CB2 receptors, partially. But it also interacts with other cannabinoid receptors and even things like vanilloid receptors. Delicious. And even some of our body's non-cannabinoid receptors. But remember, it causes no high because of its low and special interaction with CB1 receptors. Low attraction, but attraction nonetheless. So CBD just swipes right and takes what it can get until its self-esteem comes back. Anyway, CBD has also been thought to increase mood by preventing the breakdown of something called anandamide, our bliss molecule. In theory. But in theory, lots of things work. Nevertheless, CBD has shown to help when it comes to things like anxiety, cognitive and mood disorders, and also things like pain and muscle tension. Why? Because the receptors that CBD really loves are located all over our body, and in particular, congregated in the areas that relate to those specific ailments. So we just apply it everywhere, whenever, wherever. But the most popular way is still ingesting it, eating it. And when we eat CBD, it undergoes something called first-pass metabolism. Wait a minute, isn't first-pass metabolism just for THC? Usually. But first-pass does not discriminate, it also does a number on CBD. But the outcome is different compared to THC. Just as a refresher, when you ingest THC, it turns to the longer, stronger 11-hydroxy THC, which you can find more about here. So it must do the same for CBD. Oh, heavens no. You see, the liver turns CBD to 7-hydroxy CBD, which has a lower affinity for all of those receptors I mentioned earlier. On the plus side, it may last longer, but it is weaker. Significantly weaker. I know that might be a shock, and I hope it didn't disturb anybody at home. So is there any way we can consume CBD systemically without converting it over to 7-hydroxy CBD? Well, we can inhale it. This way it stays as CBD and it doesn't lose any potency. So what are the benefits of inhaling CBD? Well, first, it's quicker. Eating takes time, usually. Conversion in the liver takes time. Smoking is quick and the effects have a quick onset. So you don't need to sit around watching episodes of Forensic Files for it to kick in. Secondly, inhaling CBD is more effective than ingesting CBD because inhaling is more bioavailable. 5 times more bioavailable. Oral bioavailability is around 5 to 6%, where it's 31% on average by inhaling. That math is right?
Okay, cut.
Another benefit is that because it bypasses the liver, it's less likely to interact negatively or positively with any medications or other substances you may have taken. You know who you are with all those chewable vitamins and late-night low-sodium soups. I like to party too. So there's big benefits to inhaling CBD and smoking it. And there is a big crossover between CBD enthusiasts and people who are opposed to smoking. Knowing what we know now, this seems confusing and unforgivable, but what do we tell these people? You don't like to smoke? Go up there and tell that bud tender I want some dried flower in a pre-roll for free. You won't appreciate the complex aromas of combusted CBD flower, and I don't like it. Start smoking right now. There are a couple of ways around this. A couple. First, get a dried flower vaporizer. It'll raise the temperature past the point where CBDA becomes decarboxylated, activated, but not to the point where the dried flower will burn. Clever. So you aren't technically smoking. There's no combustion, which means those sweet little lungs of yours can get some rest. You know, before your 7:30 juice box and have a banana before bed. But if you don't want to use dried flower at all, you can use a vape cartridge. A battery-energized, high-concentrate amount of CBD with no mess and easy use. And remember that higher concentration of CBD that remains CBD means more of it in your system. So a dried flower vape and a vape cartridge are excellent choices for anybody who wants to use CBD in a more effective way. I might even go out on a limb here and say that this is the most effective way to use CBD systemically when you think about it. Or drink about it. You know, creams, crevices, blah blah blah. Thank you everyone so much for watching. If you are one of those CBD enthusiasts, you may want to give inhaled CBD a chance. Not to mention enjoying all the other great content we have here. And until the next time, we will see you soon.